The story of humanity is one of guidance and straying, of belief and denial. For generations after Adam, humanity worshipped the one true God. But then, for the first time, the world was plunged into the darkness of shirk, the worship of idols. It didn't happen all at once. It started with a clever trick from Satan. After a group of righteous men died, Satan whispered to the people, suggesting they make statues to remember them. With each passing generation, the original purpose was lost until the statues themselves became gods. The people gave them names, Wad, Suwa, Yaguth, Ya'uk, and Nasser, and believed these stone figures held real power. It was into this world, the first society to abandon the worship of Allah, that God, in His infinite mercy, sent a messenger to guide them back. He was a man praised in the Quran as a grateful servant, blessed with extraordinary patience and resolve. He was Prophet Nuh, peace be upon him. For nearly a millennium, one man stood against a tidal wave of disbelief. For 950 years, he called his people back to the truth, a span of time that's almost impossible for us to truly wrap our minds around. His story isn't just about a great flood and a wooden ark. It's a powerful lesson in perseverance, a sobering look at the consequences of arrogance, and a clear demonstration of divine justice. This is the full story of Prophet Nuh as told by the Quran and the Sunnah. The call and the rejection Prophet Nuh, عليه السلام, was one of the 5 great prophets known as Ulul Azm, or the possessors of strong will, and for very good reason. He was an eloquent speaker and a deeply patient soul, chosen by Allah to deliver a clear and simple message. He began to preach, pointing to the wonders all around them, the perfect cycle of night and day, the sun, the moon, and the earth itself, as undeniable signs of a single, all-powerful creator. His call was direct, as the Quran tells us, "O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than Him. Indeed, I fear for you the punishment of a momentous day." But His people were split. The poor, the weak, and the marginalized felt the truth in His words and found comfort in His message of divine mercy. The elite, however, the wealthy and powerful leaders, reacted with scorn. They saw Nuh's message as a direct threat to their status and way of life. Their first line of attack was to dismiss him arrogantly. The Quran recounts their words, "We see you but a man like ourselves, nor do we see any follow you but the meanest among us. We think you are liars." They even demanded that he drive away the poor believers, whom they considered unworthy of being in their presence. Prophet Nuh's response was firm. He refused, explaining that he could not turn away believers whose worth was with Allah, not with men. He made his own position clear. "And I do not say to you that with me are the depositories of Allah, nor that I know the unseen, nor do I say that I am an angel." He was simply a human messenger, sent with a warning. For 950 years, this back and forth continued. He called them publicly and privately, day and night, trying every possible way to persuade them. Yet the more he called, the more defiant they became. The Quran paints a vivid picture of their rejection. "Whenever I called them, that you may forgive them, they put their fingers in their ears, covered themselves with their garments, and persisted and were arrogant with great arrogance." The prayer and the divine command. After centuries of tireless preaching, with only a small flock of believers to his name, Prophet Nuh, عليه السلام, realized that the hearts of his people were sealed shut. Each new generation was raised to despise him and his message. And the disbelievers grew so bold that they challenged him to bring on the punishment he had long warned them about. It was a moment of profound sadness, as he understood they weren't just lost. They were actively leading others astray. With a heavy heart, he turned to his Lord. It wasn't a prayer of impatience, but one born from the certainty that the door to guidance for his people was now firmly closed. He prayed, as mentioned in Surah Nuh, "My Lord, do not leave upon the land from among the disbelievers a single dweller. For indeed, if you leave them, they will mislead your servants and will not beget except the wicked and the disbelievers." Allah answered his prayer. The time for warnings was over. Judgment was coming. But first, Allah gave him a command. "Construct the ark under our observation and our inspiration, and do not address me concerning those who have done wrong. Indeed, they are to be drowned," building the ark and the mockery. And so, on dry land, far from any sea, Prophet Nuh and his handful of followers began the enormous task of building a massive ark. For the disbelievers, this was the most ridiculous thing they had ever seen. The same leaders who had debated him now strolled by, laughing and taunting him. "Oh, Nuh," they jeer, "so you've gone from being a prophet to a carpenter? Building a ship in the middle of the desert? Where are you going to find the water to sail it?" They weren't just making jokes, they were trying to humiliate him and break his spirit. But Nuh's faith was unshakable. He knew this command came from Allah, and the wisdom behind it would soon become terrifyingly clear. He replied to their ridicule with a calm yet chilling warning, as the Quran narrates, "If you mock at us, so do we mock at you, just as you mock. You are going to know who will get a punishment that will disgrace him, and upon whom will descend an enduring punishment." Day after day they worked, sawing planks and joining them together, building the vessel of salvation while the world around them drowned in its own arrogance. The Great Flood. The moment of judgment arrived with a bizarre, preordained sign. Allah had told Prophet Nuh that when water started gushing from a particular oven in his house, the time had come. As soon as this strange miracle occurred, Nuh knew there was no more time. He immediately began to load the ark. He gathered his family, except for those who chose disbelief, and the few dozen believers who had stood by him. And, as Allah commanded, he took aboard a pair, male and female, of every kind of animal, bird, and insect. The disbelievers watched this strange procession, having one last laugh, completely unaware of the doom that was just moments away. Then the sky ripped open. Rain poured down in torrents, unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. At the same time, the earth itself cracked open, and water burst forth from countless springs. The two waters met, and the flood began. The Quran describes the scene with horrifying power, saying the ark sailed with them through waves like mountains. This was no ordinary storm. It was a cataclysm that would cleanse the earth of disbelief. The fate of a son. In the middle of the swirling chaos, one of the story's most heartbreaking moments unfolded. Prophet Nuh saw one of his own sons standing alone, watching the waters rise. Driven by a father's love, he cried out to him, "Oh, my dear son, come aboard with us and do not be with the disbelievers." It was a final, desperate plea to save his child, but his son, blinded by the same arrogance as the others, rejected the call. He replied, "I will take refuge on a mountain, which will protect me from the water." He thought his own strength and planning could save him from the decree of God. Prophet Nuh's heart must have shattered as he delivered his final warning. Today, no one is protected from Allah's decree except those to whom He shows mercy. Just then, a massive wave rose up between them, and his son was swallowed by the raging waters, lost among the drowned. In his grief, Nuh cried out to Allah, "My Lord, certainly my son is of my family, and your promise is surely true." Allah's reply delivered one of the Quran's most profound lessons. "O Noah, he is certainly not of your family. His work was unrighteous. So do not ask me about what you have no knowledge of. I warn you so you do not fall into ignorance." The true family, the real connection, is one of faith, not blood. Salvation is earned through righteousness, and no one is saved by their lineage alone. A new beginning. After the flood had wiped out the last traces of idolatry, a divine command came. "O earth, swallow your water, and O sky, withhold your rain." The downpour stopped, the springs on earth dried up, and the water receded. The ark, carrying the future of mankind, came to rest on a mountain known as Al-Judi. Prophet Nuh, عليه السلام, his family, the small group of believers, and all the animals disembarked onto a purified earth. They were the survivors who would become the ancestors for the generations to come, given a chance to start over on a foundation of Tawheed, the absolute oneness of Allah. Some narrations mention that as a sign of gratitude, Prophet Nuh and the believers fasted on the day the ark landed to give thanks for their salvation. Near the end of his long life, when asked about his time on earth, Prophet Nuh reportedly described it as entering a house through one door and simply leaving through another, a powerful reminder of how fleeting this worldly life truly is. The story of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam resonates through time with powerful lessons. It teaches us about a level of patience, or sabr, that's almost beyond our imagination. 950 years of calling people to good in the face of constant mockery and rejection. It highlights the absolute importance of worshiping the one God and warns of the grave spiritual danger of idol worship. The story is also a stark reminder of the consequences of arrogance, showing that God's justice is as certain as His mercy. The fate of Nuh's own son teaches the unforgettable lesson that faith is a personal choice, and our truest family is the one bound by shared belief, not just blood. Above all, his story is a beacon of hope. It proves that no matter how dark the world gets, the light of faith, carried even by a few sincere people, can be the seed for an entirely new beginning. If you found profound lessons in this incredible story of perseverance and faith, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing for more stories of the prophets from the Quran and Sunnah. What is the biggest lesson you took away from the life of Prophet Noah? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
ثم الصلاة على النبي محمد سبب القوي إلى المقام الأرفع هو عصمتي وعروتي فاستمسكي يا نفس بالمجد العظيم الأمنعي صلى عليك الله يا علم الهدى يا مصطفى يا خير كل مشفع